What's up, Michael? Been doing a bit of work lining up some people. I have next week, I have 3 or 4 people coming up next week so far. Some familiar faces. Our friend Julie is coming up. You have, some of you might have seen Teddy Hicks's post. Hey, Sue. Bud Files is here. I appreciate you being here. So she's going to come up. We're going to talk about her book, Book of Affirmations. Hey, Liza, how are you? Good morning to you. Nice to see you. As well as she is a newly minted life coach. Every life coach I've talked to has their own unique, no matter what they've specialized in, they have their own unique twist to it. You know, obviously because of their own life paths. The most powerful life coaches that I've talked with are the ones that have had the most difficulty in life. When they realized they could have used a coach, and maybe they found one, and maybe they decided that this was their path, or maybe they never found one and thought, I'd like to be the person that could guide someone through some very troubling times. I had them. Most for sure. I have. Let me bring up my desktop, guys. By the way, thank you to all the subscribers. I'm at, but I don't want to jinx myself. I am at 9,001. I'm hanging on to that one for dear life. Hey, Toy Pups. Liz, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Hey, Falcon. Falcon, long time no see. How you been, my friend? Hey, this guy says 7 Bills, Broncos 10. Second quarter, Yogi. Thank you. Who was I rooting for again? I was rooting for the Bills. It's not that I don't like the Broncos. I used to like the Broncos back in the John Elway, Shannon Sharp days. Way back in the day. Focus says 3 weeks and 2 days sober. Awesome. Well done. You want to talk about it, Falcon?
What's new with Google Ads?
And you know we're here to support you. Cat says waiting on hot water. I have no idea why I have no hot water, but I'm waiting on it. Yeah, what's up with that? I would try to keep remembering to share you out in my morning live stream, Yogi. No, Kat, you don't have to worry about that. I like the fact that you are supporting so many people. Hey, Richard. Did I know that Jake Paul was gay? I thought he had a girlfriend. The little that I know about Jake Paul, I thought he had a girlfriend. I did not know one way or the other, to be honest with you. And to be totally honest, I don't care. They just got says hi to Cat and Jack. Big congratulations to our friend Falcon. Falcon, are you still here? He just came out. Good for him. Good for him for having the courage of being who he is. Whoever that might be. Cat, I hope you get some hot water. If Falcon is here, we're going to ring the bell for him. 3 weeks sober. Right. God bless. God bless you too, my friend. Hey, Fred. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Fungus says I should stop talking about it and counting and just get on with it. But thank you. Hey, I agree. I know people who have been as sober as I have who can tell you exactly how many days it is without even hesitating. I didn't want to be that person. Here's my thought. It's always only day one, Falcon. And right now, day one, you are sober. Only thing that matters. That's all that your focus should be on. Today, I'm sober without making a big deal about it. Leave alcohol behind. Accept sobriety as a gift. Don't think of it as a struggle. At the same time, sometimes it will be a struggle, and it's okay when it is. Don't make a big deal about the struggle either. Get a sponsor. Reach out to your sponsor. Come here. Guys, if you are sound sensitive, if there's anyone sound sensitive triggered by sound, turn your volume down. This is, hey, Sniper. This is for Falcon. It's a new life, Falcon. It's a new life. Welcome to it. You've earned it. Trial by fire. You've arrived at this place. Let's celebrate it 3 times. Falcon, love you, my friend. Cat says, so everyone, I have no glasses, so I cannot reach out, but hello. Thank you, Cat. Ladies Cat says, had a squirrel sniper. Cat says, I don't know, but I'm going old school, and he did with a big old pan of water on the stove. He used to do that at my grandmother's house. Only way we could take a bath. Flip Up says, like and share, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, like I said, guys, 9,001 sub, 999 to go. I'm nothing if not optimistic. Lady Sky says, awesome. Sniper says, hi, Lady Sky. I got 45 subs this afternoon. Wow. I'm over the moon. Well done, Sniper. Hey, did you get them all on your on the video that you made? I saw that you had outstanding numbers on that. Cat says, congrats to Falcon. Flip Up says, love to help you, Squirrel Sniper. Please reach out on Messenger. Falcon says, love you all too. Thank you. You are welcome, my friend. Hey, we're here. I'm here 3 times a day for a reason. Not just to talk about the stuff I love to talk about. If someone else needs just presence, just company, just someone to say, hey, you know what? You'll get through today. For someone to say, you'll get through this hour. Falcon says, congratulations. Hey, Mustafa. Mustafa, again, thank you for your questions yesterday. Well, Mustafa says, Eric, I can't live without water for 5 days, and I can't live without you for 1. That's a sweet thing to say, my friend. Once again, Mustafa, I really, really appreciate the questions that you asked yesterday. 10 Bills, Broncos, 10. Uh-oh. Second quarter tied game, Yogi. That's okay, Danny. I hope everything is well with Mary. I was watching her egret short that she had. Danny gives me a wave. Thank you, Danny. Cypress says, I was minding a channel that all about the subject and uncovering the truth. I dropped a 3-minute video as I was 15 minutes early in the live stream with 600 in the chat. Managed a few stragglers. Awesome. Mustafa says, it's okay, Eric. You know that I'm always proud to be with you. Hey, Mustafa, we have a guest yesterday, Monday. Um, Let me bring up the title of his books. Let me reach out to some more shamans. So Keith Giles is coming up Monday. He's the first guest of the week. And as mentioned before, Keith wrote The Quantum Sayings of Jesus, Decoding the Lost Gospels of Thomas, as well as The Quantum Gospel of Mary, the Quantum Gospel of Mary, and the Lost Gospels of Truth. We're going to talk about all of that. On Monday. This guy says, watching the 49ers and Seahawks game later on tonight, 7 p.m. I got it. Excuse me. Got to go with San Francisco for our friend Joe. The reason why I'm going with Buffalo is because of Daisy May. This guy says, I believe these divisional games will be a tight game for sure, Yogi. No doubt. Mustafa says, well, Eric, that's great. We're looking forward to Monday. Yep, he's going to be at 1 o'clock. So I need to make sure everything's okay with Miss Flipper. I'd like to see if she comes up tomorrow. 8 teams are made, but only 4 will advance to the championship game next weekend. Championship games. Am I mistaken, or did the Super Bowl used to be held in January? Why is it all the way to February now? Falcon says they have Pers and Adrian Aramic on YouTube. I have reached out to someone who wrote a book on the original teachings of Jesus in Aramaic. It's a big difference. It was very breath focused. Finish a lumberjack and red. We need to see a video or at least a photo. Fred says, you're what? You're right about the Super Bowl. Yeah, it just occurred to me. It's in February 8th, but it used to be in January, and not even that far into January. Hey Ray, how are you? Toy Pup says Ray. Hey Sue. Sue, what's new? Fred says thank you, Lady Sky. Toy Pup says you have got this Falcon. We're all here to support you. Reach out anytime you need to talk. Absolutely. Thank you, Toy Pups. Ray says hi to Toy Pups. Lady Sky says you're welcome to Fred. Toy Pup says, Sue, I can hear Toy Pups singing in my head. I can hear her singing the Just One Sue theme song. I will, Mustafa. I figure I'll give it a few weeks, and then I'll reach out again. I don't want to put any pressure on her. Falcon says, thank you, love. Fred says, if you're feeling the vibe, then like and subscribe. Thank you. It'd be much appreciated, guys. Hey, our friend Shelly is live right now. If you want to swing on over and say hi to her. Pep says, I never do this, but your tips not sharing my notifications after yogis I've seen. We will be doing a marathon tonight, going as long as we can. Please come by and show love. Game night. What games are you going to play? Thank you, Sue. This guy says, just when Sue's everyone connected to Sue? Hey, coffee cake, coffee cake. I have a video for you. It is some seated qigong with a little bit of yoga in it. But I have it on private right now. I will unprivatize it, or I could send it to you. I could. Well, it's not on private. It's on my members page, but I will take it off members page and put it public for you. How are you, coffee cake? This guy says 92 days to my birthday, Yogi. It's getting close. It's like 3 months, less than 3 months. 90 days to your birthday. Gonna have a nice, quiet birthday this year. My dream birthday? Man, if I could get Gary Renard to come up as a guest on my birthday, that would be perfect. Putting it out there, just in case he's listening right now. Hey, Joe. Joe says, sir, I hope you're having a great day. I am, Joe. I'm having a great day because you showed up, my friend. Thanks. Hey, Bloom. Coffee Cake says, okay, thank you. Doing okay, still trying to get rid of congestion from the flu. It does linger, for sure. Coffee Cake says, just when Sue and Lady Sky. One second, guys. I just got a shout out on Facebook. Oh, wow, Coffee Cake. Thank you so much. Bloom says, should I join? I never want to have anyone join. If people feel called to join, if they want to support the channel, that's awesome. But you know what? Just being here is big support too, Bloom. Just being here, hanging out is awesome support. So, Coffee Cake, thank you so much. Coffee Cake says you can keep it members only if you wish. Thank you so much, my friend. Toy Pup says Coffee Cake W. Thank you so much. We love you. We do love you. Falcon says Kool-Aid. Why do I feel like I should crash through a wall and say, "Oh yeah," when you said that? You got to be a certain age to know what that means. Mustafa says, Eric, do you know any of these people? And what do you think about having them on live? David Hoffmeister was on the live. He was one of the first guests, and he was awesome. I will have him up again. He did say anytime. I don't know if Kat's listening, but I think Kat might remember when he said, call me Dave, and let's hang out sometime, anytime you want. So David Hoffmeister will be back. Robert Perry is really busy. I had a text message with him. His wife, Emily Perry, was, I guess, maybe 2 months ago. And I love spending time with Emily Perry. I'd like to ask her to come back too. Gerald Jombrowski has passed away, but I have an invitation for his son, who basically grew up in the course. And John Mundy, I can say he will be up, but I don't know when. I'm pretty positive that he will. I sent him an invite. I haven't heard back, but I have friends who are friends. Cat's laughing. Cat's laughing at my friendship with Dave. Just says, are you a religious agnostic or atheist, sir? None of the above. I don't think I would give myself a category, Joe. None of those would fit. I'm not part of any organized religion. I grew up in the Catholic faith. I went to Catholic school. When I got kicked out of my last, gently asked to leave and never come back, my last Catholic school, I pretty much left it behind, but I was leaving it behind for a long time anyway. I was in process. I'm not agnostic, and I'm certainly not atheist. I practice the presence of God. That makes sense, Joe? Peanut butter or Kool-Aid pie? I've never heard of Kool-Aid pie. I'd have to go with peanut butter pie. I would go with peanut butter anything. Oh, for my birthday. Yeah, I'd go with peanut butter anything. Cat says, "Come on, label, Yogi, slap a label on your face, on yourself." All right, I will slap a label on my forehead that says "occupied." Well, thank you, Sniper. How about a mirror of kindness? Kamari, my friend, how are you? This guy says, "Okay, Kool-Aid." How did we settle on Kool-Aid? Thank you, Toy Pups. I think if I had to relate to any of those threes that you put up there, Joe, it would probably be more tending towards being an atheist. But I'm not an atheist because, like I said, I do practice the presence of God. Um, but I like the fact that an atheist will not hold um, a particular belief, but not having a belief is as strong as a belief as not having one, if that makes sense. Drew says, yes, I appreciate the answer. I don't have any judgment towards anyone for a different view. Personally, I would have to say I'm an agnostic. Who was it? What philosopher said that that was probably the safest approach? Kool-Aid pie is easy to make, Falcon? I've never heard of Kool-Aid pie. Don't eat the Kool-Aid. Unless you're on the bus. If you've ever read The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe. Hey, Michael. Michael, I've enjoyed the shorts that you've been putting up. I just got a shout out on YouTube from our friend Julia Day, who was a guest about 3 weeks ago, and I'm still putting content from her up. She shared my YouTube channel. She said, I love Eric McCarty, such a sincere, gentle, devoted, wise, and loving being, walking his talk and interviewing so many inspired guests. A beautiful, beautiful thing to do. To give a little thank you real quick. All right, where are we? Hey, Megiza. Megiza, how are you? Megiza, we have a friend in here. Might still be here. Falcon, who is 3 weeks sober. Falcon, our friend Megiza, is just got his 7 month chip. Just a couple days ago, right? Zipper says it seemed you picked the one to reject. This guy says it sounds odd, but it tastes really good. Though I've heard Falcon. Michael says, "Hey there, Yogi." Michael, I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I'm glad that you um are these stories take a little longer to write than the ones that haunted history. Falcon says it just reminded me of that cult back in the day. Sniper says academic skepticism is an interesting stance. Hey, Dolly. Peace and love to you, my friend. Let me give a quick wave of the pen. Guys, this was a gift from Dolly. Dolly made it. Beautiful. Gold. Lady Sky. It's waggable. Keep that in mind. As well as a beautiful keychain. I like having my gifts nearby. Put my hands on them. Know that someone just out of the goodness of their heart made something for a friend. It's just I can look over there at any time and experience the love that went in it. Falcon says, "Congratulations to Giza. You got to wave the gift pens." Longjet says, "Congratulations on the 7 months of sobriety. That's truly incredible. If you can get sober and stay sober, then you can do anything in life to a point." Yep, and Long John, our friend Falcon, is 3 weeks. Mikiza says, "Thank you, Falcon. Keep up the good work. One day at a time." Absolutely. You're Skeptor. Exactly. I have Chris's pen here. I have my magical spoon, decorative spoon, Michael Burkeen, hand carved, signed. I tell the story. This was carved from a single tree, a lightning struck tree deep in the forest of Tennessee, still smoldering when Michael discovered it. Carved it down by hand until there was only this spoon left. Hey, Evan. Evan, how are you? It's made solely with love. Absolutely, Sniper. How are you doing, Evan? Dolly says, "Coffee cake, love you, beautiful." Coffee cake just became a member. Such an awesome gift, too. Coffee cake says, "Hi, Squirrel and Evan." Mustafa says, "Squirrel, actually, I own a book called Black Book. It's very strange. It can't be read." Interesting. I'd like to get the red book. I mentioned this before. Oh, I I think she's still alive, guys. Our friend Goes for You. Our friend Shelly is live. Swing it over and say hi. I'll still be here. Evan says, "Say I'm good. Thanks. Had to pay 370 for my vehicle today." What's going on with your vehicle? I did, Mustafa. I think he missed it. Um, David Hoffmeister, Dave. He was one of my first guests, and wonderful time with him. He said he'd come back anytime, so I will reach out and see if he wants to come back. Robert Perry told me that he is very busy right now, but his wife Emily was up maybe 2 months ago. She said she'd come back too, so I will reach out to her. Uh, Gerald Jambowski has unfortunately passed away, and but his son, who is basically from birth in the Course in Miracles community and has written several books on A Course in Miracles, he has an invitation to come up, but I haven't heard back. And I have an invitation to John Mundy, waiting to hear from him. And I have a couple friends who said that if I don't hear, he would reach out. They would reach out to him. Dolly Parton's 80th birthday is coming up. Happy birthday to Dolly. Hey, Lady Sky, remind me on Monday and we'll ring the bell. Mustafa says, yep. Longja says, Falcon, 3 weeks is amazing. Now you're awake. Now you're aware that life is not that bad, and you're on track to making that not that bad much better. Amen to that, Long John. Thank you for that. Ever says lights were broken and I was leaking antifreeze, but apparently I don't have a leak, but I had to pay off the diagnostic. Judy Scutch passed away as well. Tara Singe passed away in the 90s. I would love to get Alan Cohn, but I don't have any connection with him. But maybe I have a friend that does. I don't know Nicholas Davies. Carol's going to try to make it again. We had some technical difficulties. She was supposed to be up Tuesday, but I had a wonderful phone conversation with her. Noak is writing a book and said that she's not doing anything but writing. Nita, I sent a message to Nita. I sent a message to Mariah as well. I don't know Tara and Alan. Hey, if you message me these, I will look for it. I will look up the names that I don't know, and I'll see what I can find. Oh, these names. Gotcha. Which Vicky are you talking about? Sipper says, Mustafa, if the words change as you read, you cannot the realm of apocrypha. Long just says, Sniper, enjoy the Truman Show breakdown you did. That was amazing. Sniper is thinking about once a month doing another movie breakdown. Sniper says, cheers, Long John, once a month. Yep, there you go. So doing a esoteric breakdown of a film. It says I watched a documentary on Netflix about YouTube people. It's an unbinal game as exploiting and manipulation. How so, Evan? Zipper says, Squirrel, I understand. Focus and clarity are the keys to unlocking deeper truths. I'm seeking the essence beyond words. Long John gives a flex to Falcon. Falcon has said for sure, Long John. Hey, Bariam, how are you? So, Mustafa, if you can send me those names, the ones that I don't know, I will look up and I will certainly send an invitation to. And I'd like to see if David Hoffmeister will come back. I don't see anything on Nicholas Davies. Normally, I'll see people. We have mutual friends. Sipper says, Long John, have you checked my video called What I Have Just Discovered? Feel free to drop the links anytime, Sniper. You can drop a link in every live stream if you want. Evan says they buy bots, which is a bunch of phone networks together to pretend They have subscribers and they set up weird fake situations to get viewers. They go into a lot of weird negative behavior. Kat says, "Hey Yogi, have you seen Marianne Williamson's newest video? Is it the one about how to psychologically survive these particular times? This particular time?" I have seen it. I watched it the other day. It was good. Or did she have something new out? About 10 minutes, guys. I got to take my supplement. Longden says, "No to Sniper, but he will give it a watch." Indeed. Falcon says, "I'm sure I was sub to Sniper. Well, I am now." That's the thing. Always double check because sometimes we're so used to seeing each other that we forget if we've reached out or not. Maybe we didn't. Maybe it slid by. Mustafa says, "What do you think of these experts in the new Course in Miracles recent years? Free information, experts are the best." Here's what I love about most of the new people. They stick with they've learned it from the older school. The course is still new enough that, right now there's only a few people of that very first generation left. But the second generation have now reached that elder stage, you know. Not sure where I would put Marianne Williamson or Vicky. They started in the Dove Fishman. It was in the late 70s. Marianne Williamson, I believe, was 76 or 77 when she first came across it. Then Bill is Broncos 20 halftime now. Thank you. So we're still close to the source. Meaning, like I was thinking about this recently with yoga as well as Buddhism. Yoga was so far removed from Patanjali's time, 2,000 years ago, right? And so we're getting translations of translations of translations. Same with Buddhism. Same with the Bible. There was probably only 1,000 original words of Jesus in the Bible. Everything else was, and we heard him say, or he meant, or whatever, right? There's probably a couple thousand of Buddha, mostly in the Dhammapada. Everything else was recorded discourses. They were filtered. They were translated. Hey, Jack. Jack, what's up, my friend? Jack, I couldn't see the video of your bruise. Cat says, yes, along those lines, sure wish you would come to visit. Me too. Are we comparing Duff Fishman to Mark Anthony? No. No, I wouldn't go that far. Jack says, what's up, my friend? Hope all is well. I hope all is well with you and the family too. I was a scroll. I'm not into the YouTube likes and subscriber thing. I just had Eric pop up on my screen and he was cool. Well, thank you, Evan. I didn't know the politics behind it. So, again, a few words, and then those words were recorded and added, and they became scriptures. I'm not saying that's bad, but the farther the way it gets from the purity of the original words, the less likelihood of it truly being helpful. Kat says, I think she's ready to talk. I need a more direct way of reaching her, though. That's the issue. I was going to reach out to a friend who had her up on their podcast, but it didn't feel right. Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan said, hey, here. Hey, came from Scott Killaby. Well, awesome. How is Scott doing? Scott was an awesome guest. I made a couple of videos, a couple of shorts of him 2 weeks ago from our time up. Kat says, welcome, Jonathan. I'm very much aligned with Marianne Williamson's the stance that she's taken. Anyway, Mustafa, A Course in Miracles, the gap isn't so large. There's been no reinterpretation of the Course. We have the Course. We have the original words in a book, preserved forever. So Course in Miracles is always going to stay pure. You will have teachers who might take it in this direction or whatever. You're your own teacher. It's a self-study path. Doesn't mean you can't have other teachers, doesn't mean you can't be in groups, but you can always go straight to the source and find out for yourself. And if a teacher is wrong, a teacher is wrong. The book itself will tell you, the practice will tell you. Remember, even in the Course of Miracles, it says, put the book aside, put the Course aside. Eventually, you come upon God, you come upon the infinite, the universe, the source, empty handed. If you hold in a book, you're not going to get in. If you're holding a concept, a belief system, you're not going to get in, including a belief system offered by the Course. The Course simply wants to remove the barriers of love so that you know yourself on love and you live a loving, love expressed, love infused life. Kat says, welcome, Jonathan. Falcon says, thank you all for your support, guys. Have a blessed moment. Peace. Falcon, we're always here for you, my friend. So, Jonathan, was Scott live? Mustafa says, clear and understandable. Cat waves at the Reinhardt's channel. Oh, wow. It's 1 or 2 months until he's flying again. I know you're going to keep active. I know you're going to keep active, though. Hey, Pepe. How are you, my friend? Hey, Estat. Evening, folks. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you, my friend. Supplement time, guys. What's up, Blessa? Got a supplement. Yep. This is, I mentioned before, 1 milligram of melatonin. Jonathan says, yes, I follow Scott frequently. He's doing well, I think. I love his honesty when teaching. Me too. You know what? I followed Scott for a while. And I love seeing he never got stuck. He never got stuck in that I'm a non-duality teacher. I'm going to, I'm going to have Sangha and sit in the center of a room and everyone gathers around me. I know he did originally, but as he talked, when he was up here talking, he felt the need to be more in service than just offering words. He had more to explore. And what I find for many people who've had a non-dual awakening and then they stay there, it's never embodied. What was the quote? If our friend Parajat was here, he would know it right off the head. from Nisargadatta Maharaj about the journey from the head to the heart. See if I can find it. Sometimes it goes down. Sometimes it doesn't. I started swallowing it. It was going down, and I read what's his comment? Melatonin. I used to take it. Leads straight to the heart stuff. Leads straight to 2 milligrams. Let me see if I can find that quote. I type NIS and Nisargadatta comes up immediately. Don't think I can find it. Well, here's one, which I love. The mind creates the abyss and the heart crosses it. Anyway, sometimes I don't think, hey, Nino, I don't think with a particular type of non-duality awakening, it sometimes seems that people are like halfway up the mountain and then they settle there and they think they're at the top. Nino, how you doing? Nino says hi to Cat and Jack. Jonathan says, I sit on the fence, though not sure what is the right approach to follow with practice teachings. Interesting. What does your heart tell you? What resonates the most? I used to sort of vacillate between yoga and the course, and I was talking to Kat about this earlier, and I mentioned it all the time until it came to the great discovery that Course in Miracles is yoga. Which was a pretty awesome discovery. It was actually clear all the time, but again, the course is about removing barriers. So I just needed a few barriers to be removed before I could see that clearly. Mustafa says, Eric, is there any news about our friend Seb? I mean, Lee, of course. So I'll ask about everyone here. If I haven't seen them in a while, I mean, anyone here. Seb was up this morning, or I'm sorry, this afternoon. And he popped in and he said, hello, Happy New Year's. And said, he missed everyone. And we welcomed him and said that we loved him. I hope that means he's going to come back and hang out with us. I hope, but you never know. So, hey, Jonathan, what are the different paths that resonate with you right now? Practice. Maybe we can simplify it. And that's been the big thing for me is the quote Thoreau, simplify, 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 and don't chase after shiny things, which I've done in the past. Jonathan says somatic practices and Eckhart Tolle's teachings and the like. Okay, that's a great place to start, and it might be a great place to stay as long as it's resonating. As long as here's the thing, I'm all about practicality, and that's why I've settled with yoga, Course in Miracles. It's why I easily could have settled into Buddhism because I want to be peace here in the moment. I don't always want my mood swinging all over the place. I don't want to be easily triggered. If I am triggered, I want a safe haven that I can return to constantly, consistently, and whenever I want, instantly. Um, so there was a lot of things that were interesting, but they weren't helpful. There's a lot of things theoretical that are fascinating, but if they don't help me be more loving, if I if they don't ease any sense of fear of being vulnerable, if they don't allow me to feel abundant with whatever it is that I have, if I'm always chasing something, this next secret breath, this next form of meditation, this next non-dual teaching, is surely going to bring me somewhere where I wasn't before. Been down that road for a long time, and it's exciting, but ultimately it's frustrating because you're never quite there. Your peace is easily shakable. I don't want shakable peace. I want true peace. I want to know myself as love. And that's the wonderful thing about practicing forgiveness as presented by A Course in Miracles. And Eckhart Tolle was a Course in Miracles student for a very long time and still quotes the Course quite a bit. Jonathan says that's so true, chasing the highs. And there's always another high. This is why any good meditation teacher is going to tell you to ignore the flashing lights, ignore the blue pearl that shows up sometimes during deep meditation. Ignore the gifts, the cities, the special powers, because they're great, they're wonderful, but ultimately they're distractions. They don't lead to uh, awakening. They don't lead to liberation. You see about Eckhart Tolle and the Course. So ultimately, what I wanted was moksha. Moksha means Sanskrit, liberation. What are we liberated? What are we liberated from? We are liberated from our own best opinion of ourselves. Thank you, Mustafa. Eckhart Tolle and A Course in Miracles. Comes right up. So it doesn't say much about his practice, but he did practice it early on. But Eckhart Tolle acknowledges A Course in Miracles as a significant spiritual text that aligns with his teachings on presence and the ego, focusing on shifting from conceptual thoughts to pure awareness. Although he uses different terminology, both emphasize finding peace in the now, seeing beyond the illusion of self-ego, practicing forgiveness, or seeing the unreal. That's what forgiveness is. It's not extending a courtesy to someone. It's not letting someone off the hook. It is seeing the unreality of sin, recognizing that a mistake is a call for help, and that which is calling for help is that very true essence in which no one ever sees or acknowledges, but it always wishes to. and realizing our true complete nature, with totally often guiding people to the stillness where the course aims to lead them. Here's the big difference for me. I love reading Eckhart Tolle. Hey, Sinkbug, how's everything at home? Why would you be embarrassed, my friend? Be who you are. But Jonathan, here's the big difference for me. I I love reading Eckhart Tolle. I love listening to him to talk. But I like having a practice. Now, Eckhart Tolle does have a book, Practicing the Presence. Um, but I like the fact that A Course in Miracles gives me 365 daily lessons that I can practice as often as needed. Has a 700 some page text. It has a manual for teachers. It gives me the practice. Do this, and these will be the results. Book says we're all still alive. Yep, Helen. Sepa says the inhumane. Why the Christian avatar then? Mustafa says the ego makes us believe that it is searching for happiness, peace, or even spirituality, and we can definitely spiritualize the ego. But in reality, it sets conditions that make finding them impossible. Agreed. But it can be very self-satisfied. Sinkbook says, might a headache, but I'm about to slam a couple of water bottles. Hope you take some time to decompress a bit too. Mustafa said, oh, Sniper says, stand in a hot water, Sinkbug. SS says, very profound, Mustafa. And Mustafa says, well, why is it impossible? It is impossible because the ego can't know peace. The ego can't know happiness. The ego can know seeking, searching. The reason being is the ego wants one thing, its own autonomous nature. Wants to be its own thing, its own entity. But it can't be. The ego is just a thought construct. It's a belief system. It's an identity that is always changing, always fluctuating. So how can something, if we say that happiness, true happiness, unconditional happiness, is based upon knowing who we truly are and our unchanging nature, right? Unconditional means it's not going to change, right? We're going to love something no matter what. The love itself is unconditional. Unconditional. The ego is always placing conditions. Always placing conditions. It has to. It's a distinction that gives the ego its identity. I am this, you are that. I am here, you are there. I, me. He, she, Rumi, his wonderful little poem, I, he, she, me, they, them. These are distinctions not made in the Garden of the Mystics. Mustafa says, that's that. Thank you, my friend. Sampa says, that's why we say sorry when we mean it. Simple says, managed to go live for a couple hours this afternoon, though. Good. Toy Pups is going live. She might be live right now. She's going to try to put in a marathon session, she said. We're going to end things here in just a little bit. Step says by acknowledging a fault, you release the energetic density of guilt and prevent the super refraction of negative intent from sticking to your spiritual path. What's up? Mustafa says the search itself reinforces your sense of detachment, while finding signifies the end of the ego. Therefore, it keeps you in a perpetual pursuit of a mirage that you will never reach. And the truth is, there's nothing to find. Search is already over. This is what the Course ultimately means by the script is written. We're already at home. The ego is not intelligent, it's clever. It is defense mechanism against a non-existent reality. Well said, Mustafa. The ego is very clever at preserving itself. My cat does not like something. Better not be a mouse. It's okay if I have raccoons in my house, if I have squirrels in my house, if I have possums in my house, if I have bears in my house. I could have water buffaloes in my house. Don't care. I'm not real fond of mice. I'm a vegan. I love all animals. Don't ever want to hurt a mouse. Something about them little hands that look like little human hands. If you gave a mouse a bushy tail, I'd be like, awesome. I'd love that little thing. If you gave a mouse a bushy tail and like non-haired human hands, they'd be welcome. They're up to something. Give me a bushy. Never mind. I'm not going to say. I was going to say, give me a bushy tail any day. Second says your ego uses self-justification to resolve the conflict and protect your self-image. Agreed. So how can we be proud of personal achievements without an ego? I don't think we would be. Sacred Space, how are you, my friend? Sampa says by being humbled. In the absence of the self, who would it be taking pride anyway? Closer says, you need a pet. I do not need a pet mouse. My stepdaughter had pet rats, and I was in constant fear of one of them getting out. I'd rather have, well, just say I'd rather have a rat than a mouse. I don't know. We have wood rats out in the woods, I see occasionally. Hey, Tom. Hare Krishna to you, my friend. Emphasis being humbled is a forced alignment with reality. But ego creates a subjective lens to project one's self-image. The act of being humbled shatters the lens. So humbleness is actually one of the 10 characteristics of God's teachers. Things like taking pride in an accomplishment and everything, those are things that sort of naturally arise within the spaciousness of who we are, but we no longer own them, you know? We no longer own these achievements. Let me bring up the manual for teachers real quick. The first characteristics of God's teachers is trust, and it's a different kind of trust where we learn to rely solely on God as the source of everything. The second one is honesty, tolerance, gentleness, joy, defenselessness, generosity, patience, faithfulness, and open-mindedness. I'd say humbleness. We had a great quote from our guest yesterday about humbleness. So, Course in Miracles defines true humility not as self deprecation, but as recognize your inherent greatness as God's creation, accepting your given function in salvation, being the light of the world, and letting go of the ego's need to rule or judge, leading to peace and trust in God's plan rather than self will. It is about being grounded and honest about your shortcomings to allow God's power to work, realizing you don't need to be someone or rule the universe, but simply accept your role in love. So that's the big difference between look what I've done, taking pride in what I've done. I did this. You didn't do this. I did this. I get the star. I get the reward. I get to pin my achievement certification on my refrigerator door. Versus knowing everything comes from God. It was a keen insight, Sniper, with the humbleness. Thank you for saying that. It gave me a chance to look that up. Hey, Joshua. That says, I feel like we should always aspire to do better. Without an ego, that doesn't seem possible. Seems like perpetual state of, I'm doing bad. Doesn't matter because nothing exists. Who says nothing exists, though? That would be the ego saying it doesn't matter. It would be the ego saying nothing exists. What the Course would say, the Holy Spirit, but we could say Christ consciousness or Buddha consciousness, says from the nothingness, everything exists. From God, everything comes. When you know your grandeur, when you know who you truly are, how can you aspire to do better than knowing that you are united with God? How can you do better than that, F. Scott? When you're in that place, all there is love and compassion, the desire to be there for other people, to be truly helpful. And it all happens spontaneously without being planned. It doesn't say, I'm going to be kind because of this, because now that's ego gratification. I'm going to be kind, and hey, they might be kind back to me. I'm going to be kind, and I might get something out of it. I'm going to be kind because I feel better. Even that is of the ego. Here, we're being kind because our nature is to be kind. So there is nothing better than knowing ourselves as of God. So if you aspire to knowing God in every moment, what greater aspiration is there? 17 Bills, Broncos 23. Third quarter. Hey, Lady Sky, do me a favor and yell at the TV for me. Joshua says she was teaching people that the reality is the only true reality, that anyone else's opinion and thoughts don't matter. Oh, I met this woman who taught others to believe that their reality is the only reality that matters. And during the seminar, I got up from my chair and cursed her, snobby teachings, and I left. Interesting. I hope you didn't pay for it. Lady Sky says, okay, shake your fist angrily, too. Jonathan says, I love the 4 yoga stages of the path. Can't remember them exactly, but they're very beautiful stages of the path. Maybe you know what I mean. Are we talking about the 4 yogas, the paths of yoga? Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and raja yoga. I hope to write about that tomorrow on my blog. because it's the fifth, unmentioned. It only took 2,000 years to come about. And that is forgiveness as presented by A Course in Miracles. It's the fifth path of yoga. It was a free seminar and even had free drinks and snacks. Simply says the tall bamboo bends the lowest and never look down on anyone unless you're helping them up. Hey, Mr. Osgood, how are you? Sniper says, greetings, Mr. O. Longjen says, Sniper, connecting dots was damn good. Made sure to watch and comment. Thank you, Longjen. Miss Osgood says, hi to Squirrel Sniper. Joshua says, Sniper, I was on the outside of Lady Liberty once and saw all those people looking down at me. I couldn't afford to go up by myself at all that time. So we're going to wrap things up, I think, in about 5 minutes, guys. Longjen says, what's up, Osgood? Welcome. Evan says, do you ever think about what could have been if you made different choices? No, not really. Mr. Osgood says, good, and you? I'm good too, my friend. No, not really, Evan. Melissa says, hey, Osgood, just making a sandwich. Apparently, are there no females available around to do that for? Well, not now, there isn't. Long just says, Sniper, I'm looking forward to it. Jonathan says, yes, indeed. So I still work. I still do my daily meditation practice twice a day, every day. But nothing has instantly brought me to the present moment, steeped in love, knowing exactly who I am and what my purpose here is for, as a practice of forgiveness. And you might ask, what is it to forgive? And the answer is everything. Everything. Forgiveness again is looking at reality. All right, guys. I think I'll wrap it up. Toy Pup says she's going live. If I get a chance, I'll pop in and say hi. If you get a chance, pop in, hang out with Toy Pups. She wants to have a marathon session for as long as she can do it. Sounds like fun. Evan says, I need to learn your perspective, but it's difficult to understand. Trying to think of how to clarify it. Here's the best thing. Be kind. Hey, Leo, how are you? I was thinking about you today, Leo. Are you following along with the challenge? I have not seen you live for a bit. I see you were live just an hour ago. Day 17 of Burpees Giant Challenge. Cat says, nah, Toy Pups is hanging out on Lucy's live stream with Tinkbug. Ah, gotcha. You too, Leo. Thanks for coming in, my friend. Wishing you the best too. I will be looking for you. I want to see you. I definitely want to see you go through this routine. Longja says, "Sup, cat." Leo says, "I'm in second place with the challenge. Dan is a machine and earned first." I'm hearing stories about Dan. Lean and fast is what I'm hearing. He says he's not lifting that much now. He's doing some running. 2026 is full of synchronicity. Leo says, "Take care, brother. The journey continues always." Sniper says he's going to drop another video. Longchin said that's true, Sniper. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. Kat, I hope you got enough hot water. I hope your hot water came back. I'll be back. We'll be live. Tomorrow will be day 18, lesson 18 from A Course in Miracles. Evan, again, the perspective is really simple. Be kind. Practice forgiveness. Everything else is detail. All right. Love you guys. Hey, Jamie. Thanks, my friend. Am I still there? I'm on the precipice. I'm at 9,001 by the grace of friends. My cat's got something to say. My cat always has something to say. Tip says, "Evening, Jamie Brown." Jamie Brown. Long John waves at Cat. Cat says, "Hey to Long John." So I appreciate that, Jamie. We'll see what I wake up to in the morning. Is it holding on to? Is it holding on? Hey, Tabarka Nature, how are you? Welcome back. The precipice. Precipice. That's a funny word. Well, yeah, now if I keep saying it over and over again, it is. And holding steadfast. I'm glad you're doing well, my friend. All right. Everyone, have a good night. Again, we'll see what we wake up to. If it stays at 9,001, it goes up. Very often it hovers back and forth. Don't go up with the ups. Don't go down with the downs. Love you guys. Bye, Joshua.